Hello guys, today's lecture is about spermatidogenesis, where we will see how the germinal epithelial cells of the seminiferous tubules are undergoing the process of mitosis followed by meiosis and growth phases to produce the spermatids. This is strictly an endocrine process, genetically regulated and also mediated by transcription factors, growth factors and so many number of auto and paracurrent factors inside the testis. As always I say, this is a process of stem cell division. That means they will show the process of self-renewal as well as differentiation. So without further delay, let's see how the primordial germ cells are producing these spermatids. So this is a beautiful diagram showing the process of spermatidogenesis, the primordial germ cells. From this we'll start. These primordial germ cells are the stem cells lining the seminiferous tubules, which are the units of testis. We are just along the basement membrane from where this process begins and will gradually move towards the lumen. So here what happens, now this is the beginning of the cells. This is the primordial germ cells. They show extensive self-renewal, and this self-renewal occurs by series of mitotic divisions, and the similar daughter cells are produced. So this is how this process goes on. So let's begin with the flow chart where we are going to see how the primordial germ cells are carrying out the process. After a series of mitotic divisions, this is simple mitosis, mitotic divisions, where 2 to the power n divisions occur, and the cells which are produced are known as the Spermatogonial cells. These are the base cells which will further give rise to process of the Spermatidogenesis. They show extensive division, stable DNA, stable nucleus, chromosome number remains diploid, and the cells are little bit smaller gradually, but they do not lose their cytoplasmic contact. Guys, please remember, cytokinesis is incomplete during the process of these spermatogenic cycles or the waves. This is one of the important points to remember. And once these spermatogonial cells, they start dividing, they are going to further activate their downstream signaling mechanism inside them, which will acquire the process of further division. That means these spermatogonial cells further undergoes mitosis. Since a series of mitotic divisions are going on, and then they produce activated spermatogonial cells. That means they become transcriptionally and translationally become active. They are now responding to the cells in the process of division. If I can draw a diagram, this is 2n. They further divide to produce 2n cells. They are further dividing 2n. That process is going on here. This chromosome number is diploid. So I can say I am here only. This is activated spermatogonial cells. These activated spermatogonial cells further undergo division, and the same division occur, that is mitosis, where they are producing type A Spermatogonia. That means you are seeing series and sequence of divisions which are going on like this. You are seeing 2n cells are being gradually producing. What happens to the type A? Once they undergo the division from here, there occur again mitosis, point to ponder, mitosis, where they are going to produce type A1 and type A1. Again, daughter, this is a passive cell. It will not divide. It will not divide. It will remain quiescent and will serve as base stem cells. When it is required, they may divide, but for the time being, they are not dividing. But type A1, one category, is very active. That means this is in the ratio of 9:1. This is 90%. This is 1% to 10%. For the example, suppose this is, here it is 10%, this is 90%, or 9:1 ratio, I can say. These cells are dividing, these are the reserve. Once this type A1 divide, it go on producing A2, A2, then sequence, try to understand. I will draw there also, like this. Type A2, here, type A2. This A2 again behave like the same. Active, passive. The active one again divide to produce type A3, type A3. Try to understand what I am saying. This is now the dormant or the quiescent one. Like this type one. This is dormant or quiescent. But this one is dividing. Again, this is active and this is passive. Can you see that 3 generations have been passed? 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Once these 3 successive divisions are over, now these passive or the quiescent one, the type A1, it will divide to produce again 2 populations. A1, A2, or A1 active, A2 active. Or it is just like this, A1, it will go A2, A2. A3, A3, like this. So now you can well understand why a single primordial germ cell is able to produce million number of cells. And it's a continuous process. Can you believe 1000 to 1500 number of cells are being produced per second? So it makes this process very, very dynamic. Now this type A3 will divide into type A4, type A4. Here in this is again active and this is passive. It has been seen, no doubt controversies are there, but it has been seen. After 3 successful divisions, now the A4 will not further divide, or it may carry out the division. It is little bit, here the differences are there among the workers. So it may go A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, like this it will go, or it will produce, for example here, this I am writing here, but it should continue from here. The type A4, it will produce, this is intermediate Spermatogonia. And try to understand, this intermediate Spermatogonia is also 2n, that means it is diploid. It means mitosis is still on. These intermediate Spermatogonial cells, they are the precursors of another category of cell by the mitosis, and that is known as the type B Spermatogonia. So this is the point of interest, the type B Spermatogonia. Till now mitosis is going on. According to certain authors, this type B may further divide into B1 active, B1 passive, B2, B3, B4, active, 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 passive, 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 like this. That means what I am saying, this is a continuous process of cell renewal and it is tightly regulated. Cell number always remains in a constancy zone inside the testis. Otherwise, this process will not complete. Some of the defective cells are also produced, they are also removed. That means this process is going on. And here I am still saying mitosis is going on. Mitosis is going on. Simple divisions are going on with the process of mitosis. Then what happens to the type B spermatogonia? Now it will further undergo mitosis to produce a larger cell, and that's known as the primary spermatocyte. And this primary spermatocyte, it produces the same 2n number of chromosomes. And it is the cell which is getting ready for the process of meiosis. That means now onwards, we are going to get the words like haploid cells because gametes are haploid. So this is the beauty of this process. So after continuous mitosis, a growth will occur where the primary spermatocyte will acquire the duplication of the cell organelles. It will getting ready for the kinetic assembly. It is getting in terms of the nuclear. It is getting ready in the terms of the mitochondrial energy. And altogether duplication of the cell organelles and cell reserve make it little bit bigger. Because the next process is the meiosis. So what happens? Meiosis occurs in two phases, meiosis 1, meiosis 2. The true meiosis is the one where this 2n will be converted to n. And then the mitosis occur, that is known as meiosis 2, where the cells will again remain with the same number of chromosomes, that is haploid. So let's see how it is. So primary spermatocytes undergoes meiosis 1. Meiosis 1. This is the true reduction division. And it will lead to the produce of the haploid cells. And now I am getting two cells which are known as secondary spermatocyte. If I can show you by the diagram, this is secondary spermatocyte, this is haploid. Here I can show. Suppose this will produce the 2n, the larger primary spermatocyte. Now it will undergo the meiosis 1 and it produces two cells which are haploid. And this is the true meiosis 1. And the result, this is primary spermatocyte and this is nothing but the secondary spermatocyte. Then what happens? The secondary spermatocyte undergoes the meiosis 2, which is actually a meiosis, where it produces 4 here, here and here, because we are having two secondary spermatocytes. So these two, one here, and it will produce haploid 4 number of spermatids. So this is the spermatid, and the entire process what I have shown, that's known as the spermatidogenesis, spermatocytogenesis. We have to remember the last 3 points. Why meiosis occurs? Meiosis occurs to reduce the chromosome number into half so that genetic stability will be maintained and the individual which will be produced after the fusion of the gametes will be diploid. That's the first point. The second point, the primary spermatocyte undergoes little bit growth with respect to the cellular structure. That's why it is larger in size compared to the other stem cells. Third, the primary spermatocyte undergoes the meiosis to produce two haploid cells which are known as secondary spermatocytes. Haploid. The first word haploid is applicable to the secondary spermatocytes. And when these secondary spermatocytes undergo the meiosis 2, which is a phase of mitosis, we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 number of spermatids. They are not having flagella. Only the thing what we are seeing is stable nucleus along with haploid chromosome number. So with these very basics, we come to the end of this lecture. We have seen how the spermatids are produced from the primordial germ cells. The next lecture will be on how the spermatids these spermatids will be converted to flagellated cells, that is known as spermatoleiosis. We will see, or spermiogenesis, we will see how the transformational or metamorphic change will occur in these haploid cells to produce another cell which is capable of movement after its maturation. So stay tuned for my next lecture, that is on spermioleiosis. And do not forget to like my channel, subscribe my channel, share my channel. Please leave your comments in the suggestion box so that I can improve further on these lectures. So stay tuned for my next lecture. Thank you so much.